Come on! Everything they did in one play at a time, urgency, do what you do. Come on, hustle off, let's go, I need you!
They'll feed 30. Todd Gurley.
Yeah! This is what you live for!
Daylight in zone ahead. Touchdown, Doug Martin.
Yeah! Yeah!
Number one fantasy player right here.
Let's throw some more bricks on the pile, let's go!
I want to have the best receiving core in football. Let's get to work.
We saw a lot of these Raiders last night on HBO Hard Knocks, produced by NFL Films, and the Rams and Raiders are getting set to kick off another day of joint practices out there. So let's head to Napa, California, right now live, where we welcome in our very own Andrew Siciliano, MJD, and Steve Smith Sr. And we are going to get your thoughts on what you expect to see out there today, gentlemen.
Good morning, Football K, to all of you. It is certainly morning here. The sun is just peeking out. It's kind of chilly. And, guys, we have two legitimate teams on the field together for the first of 2 days of practice before they play in Oakland for their preseason opener coming up on Saturday. What are you looking forward to, Mr. Ram?
Well, there's a lot of good things. I think, again, some of these receivers and the DBs, I know Steve's probably going to harp on that a little bit, but I want to see what this rookie running back can do for the Oakland Raiders. What Josh Jacobs has been able to do, watching a lot of clips, talking to a lot of people, there's a lot of high praise about him. How is he going to perform against Clay Matthews and this defensive line and those 9-on-7 drills?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams. I want to only focus on the Oakland Raiders. We haven't been giving them enough love.
That's
right?
good. That's good.
They're on Hard Knocks. They got all this stuff going on. So really what I want to see is what is the true identity of this team? John Gruden is here. He got a 10-year deal. What's going on? You got a quarterback. You trade for a wide receiver. You got our former co-worker, Mike Mayock. A lot of exciting things are happening here. But how will it all work out? Will it work out the way that they are expecting it to work out? And also, you trade so much up. You get so much for Khalil Mack.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are you going to do with all that equity? Can you put it together and make it into what you expect? Because you just gave away one of the best players in football.
Yeah.
You better make up for it somehow, some way, because you got a ton of picks. And then also, too, 13 defensive players they've either got through acquisition, either free agency, or through the draft. What are they telling you? They need some help on defense.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not really sold on this offense. They got AB, one of the best wide receivers in the game, but they got to also plug and play some other players as well.
Well, AB is not expected out there today. He's still dealing with that foot issue. Ian Rappaport is here. See what we could dig up on AB's feet. Don't Google the picture on the internet. I'm just warning you right now, but he's not out there. You mentioned the rookies. Jonathan Abram, one of those 3 first-round picks, is actually going to join us on set here. We'll talk to Clelin Ferrell as well. Yeah. Jonathan Abram last night on Hard Knocks was asked the question at dinner, is it salmon or salmon?
The L silent.
He wants to say salmon. Derek Carr told him, you're a rookie, you're now making money, you're going to go to nice restaurants. It's got to be salmon now moving forward.
Why are you looking that way?
We'll also ask him about
Because
football.
There's so many things
too.
I want to say, but I just
It's too
should
early.
not say.
It's too early. It's too early. We'll get to it later.
Scheduled to appear from the Rams as well. Jared Goff will be here. Clay Matthews will be here. And Eric Weddle will be here. Do you think it gets
Utah
heated
nice.
today?
Absolutely.
Wait.
I don't
Steve
think it
Smith.
gets too crazy.
No? Okay.
Steve Smith Sr., please say them.
It might.
We all want to hear.
They want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
We can't hear
About
me.
what?
Jonathan Abram, salmon.
Salmon.
Oh, it's
Is it salmon or salmon?
No, we'll just wait.
Listen, I'm still 2 years under my contract.
Yeah.
It's not a good time.
You know what? You have shown so much growth over the last couple of years.
It is the finale of Inside
He is swimming upstream.
Camp Live today, guys. We are on at 10 a.m. right here with the Raiders and the Rams in Napa because life is tough. We're in Napa.
Salmon.
Have fun and enjoy those rookies. They stole the show on Hard Knocks last night. Abram stole the show when he was on Good Morning Football as well. So Inside Training Camp Live, we're also live with the Giants and the Packers. It all kicks off right after our show at 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank you, Steve Smith Sr., MJD, and Andrew Siciliano.
Quite a blend there.
Rams Raiders is quite a blend as well. Who are you? He was talking about not Googling Antonio Brown's feet. What name were you Googling and setting Google alerts for during this practice?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I see Steve, and he's this extremely productive, maybe slightly undersized receiver. And Brandon Cooks, I want to see a big year from him. You know, Brandon Cooks has what I would call a Mitch Richmond type factor, who is a fantastic, highly productive year after year player who for some reason just floats and doesn't jump up in headlines. And there's never in the conversation with DeAndre and AB and everything. And Peter talked about the Rams wide receiver core earlier in the show with Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. This is the belle of the ball, guys. He is an unbelievably good player. Of all the receivers with 100 targets last year, he had 0 drops. And yet, what is the last image we have of Brandon Cooks? You want to talk about what happened to the Rams and Goff and McVay and whatnot? Biggest play on offense for the Rams the whole game. He can't come in with the big catch, and it's get broken up right at the goal line. I love Brandon Cooks. I want this to be the year he's on the marquee. He's in the right town, on the right team. Everything's going for him. We just have to have that season, and he needs to make amends for that play.
Yeah, you know, they're talking about the guys out there in Napa, and Cooks is a good guy to mention, but the Raiders have so many different interesting figures, whether it be Incognito or Burfict or any of these rookies, that it's almost like they're this, combination. The Rams, I specifically look at Eric Weddle, and I've said it time and time again this offseason. If you're listening at home, Eric Weddle is going to be a huge difference maker for this Rams defense, because when you speak with the coaches and the people in the Rams organization, they will tell you it's like having a coach on the field. And that's nothing to diminish what Aaron Donald does as Defensive Player of the Year. It doesn't say anything away from Marcus Peters or Aqib Talib and what they are as veterans. Eric Weddle knows what the other team is doing and might as well be the defensive coordinator. He's a huge asset for them. You put him in the back, it's an added layer to an extra leader on a defense that was really good last year in games that mattered.
I love Weddle with Wade Phillips. What a great combination. All right, we're going to get a little inside training camp, get to watch practice, the Rams and the Raiders. The one thing you want to focus on, if you're an offensive line breaking the huddle, where's Aaron Donald, right?
Yeah.
So for the Raiders, I think I'm going to be watching Derek Carr and the pressure that's on Derek Carr because of how Colton Miller does. The left tackle, that's right, the Oakland Raiders left tackle, first-round pick 2 years ago. Mike Mayock did draft him,
right.
All right, but they moved him to left tackle after they signed Trent Brown in free agency. When the Raiders signed Trent Brown to this huge contract, I said, okay, that's their left tackle. Colton Miller's playing right tackle. But I think Colton Miller, he will be under the biggest spotlight because it's how he plays that will directly affect Derek Carr, whether or not he can have the time to throw the ball to Antonio Brown. So I tell you what, I saw some up and down play from Colton Miller last year. Okay. I thought he struggled to stay on his feet at times, the athleticism. It'll be interesting to see what happens in week 4 if he's struggling, if they end up moving down
Trent
Brown from right tackle to left tackle. That could be a piece to this whole puzzle up front.
The media and fans do this thing with the Rams where they talk about everything but Jared Goff. Todd Gurley, those headlines, that hesitation, that sort of cloudiness takes away from Jared Goff. Their coach, the young, wonderful Sean McVay, also takes a little bit of spotlight away from Jared Goff. This is a guy who's probably looking at this Cowboy situation. He's going to want to get paid in due time, which has to do with the window and paying the other guys and how he reacts to the fact that Gurley was already paid so much money. He was in the Super Bowl, got his team there, didn't have the best performance, but we'll see over the next couple of seasons if they don't get back to the Super Bowl, it will not be because of Todd Gurley and his knee. That will not be the narrative. It will be about Jared Goff. So I'm fascinated to see if he can take a step up even here in 2019. What do you guys think?
What do you think about the take that McVay is so good and their receivers are so good that Sean McVay could take any decent
How about their backup, Blake Bortles?
Fine, take Blake Bortles and go in and they could go to the title game. I mean, I feel that's extremely offensive to Goff, and yet couldn't do it as a rookie with Jeff Fisher, wasn't terribly prolific in college. Did McVay make the quarterback? I mean, if I'm Goff, I am furious about that. It's got to prove us wrong, though.
It's good, and the contract stuff is going on, Kay, and I think in the next few weeks, if Dak's deal does get done, Jared Goff is next on the clock. Or they might jump Dak, and they might say, let's just get ours and take the money where it is. But those three fourth-year quarterbacks, Wentz, Dak, and Goff, all their contracts were supposed to be handled before the season starts. Only one of them's done, Carson Wentz.
What will that mean for the Cowboys if they did? That's wild if that were to happen before Dak's deal gets done.
No doubt.
Welcome to the best soap opera in sports, the NFL. Don't go anywhere. Jameis Winston is going to be on Inside Trading Camp Live right after the show at 10 a.m. Eastern. We've got Raiders on the show. We're live with the Packers and the Giants. Saquon Barkley sitting down. Odell Beckham Jr. sitting down with our crew, reporters, analysts, and hosts as well. It's ITC Live. And this guy behind a blockbuster movie, one of the most moving stories in sports, Brian Banks, is joining us for breakfast.
Oh, this is great.
Got a movie coming out.